Jak'd episode 10. Drinking at night or something like that, the title's going to be. Most of these podcasts are probably going to be about my night game adventures because I have more experience doing night game than day game. Like, I've done day game. I was doing day game actually before night game. But, night game is kind of more interesting, between the drinking and the attitudes and the fights and the people getting arrested and stuff. So most of these podcasts are probably going to be about that. I'm going to say that when I first started going out, because I read the mystery method. Now, a lot of you who got in the PUA, you probably read the mystery method, right? And in the mystery method, it says do not drink. And the reason why is because it messes your game up, you kind of lose judgment, and there's some truth to that. There actually is some truth to that. Even though some guys will disagree and say, hey, drinking, it makes it easier. The only thing drinking really does is it lowers your judgment. So it pretty much just makes you not give a fuck. Now, that can help you with women, but I know a guy now who, he doesn't do shit. He drinks his ass off. He drinks like 6 beers a night. He gets fucking hammered. And he's a pussy, right? He's a fucking pussy. He doesn't do shit. He's still scared to talk to girls. Now, if you need 6 beers, if you drink 6 beers a night and you're still not talking to girls, forget about it, okay? Fucking forget about it. Don't even fucking drink. Why are you going to drink at that point? So, I remember I used to never buy a drink. Most of the reason why is because I didn't need it, number one. Like I said, I went out by myself, doing night game. I didn't need a fucking even wingman. Even though I was meeting guys trying to, find someone like me, which I never found, or someone similar or kind of similar. And I remember one night, when I first started going out, like I said, I was poor. I didn't have a job. When I started going out, when I found the city, I started going out to bars and stuff. I used to go out with only $3 in my wallet. And I used to walk down to the train station. I would use a token, get down here to the city. And then if I didn't have that token to get back, I would have been fucked. I would have no choice but to, jump over the rail and risk getting arrested for sneaking on the train. I would just be fucked. But I used to go out with only $3 in my wallet. I remember one night I ran into this dude I used to go to high school with, and he bought me a beer and a shot. And his friend was like, yo, man, you going to give him any money? And I said, I don't have anything. He didn't believe me. He said, why are you here then? I said, because I go out, I don't have any money. I said, I don't need money to talk to girls. I said, look, I'll show you. And I went in my wallet, pulled out $3. I said, that's all I got. I said, you want me to give him my last $3? I'll give it to him. I was like, that's all I got, man. That's one of the reasons why. I was like, back then, I didn't fucking drink anything. I was like, I don't have any fucking money, man. I was like, I'm fucking broke. So, one night, I actually had some money. I don't know if at the time I was working or not. Maybe I was. And I went out to this bar. It's not here anymore. It's called the Mad River. Now, there's one in Manayunk, for those of you who know Philly or PA. And that's a douchebag frat version. Man, I got to tell you, when this place was open, and I think they closed down about a year after I started going there. Of course, they were closed. That was my favorite spot. It's what made me fall in love with Old City. And for those who listen to my Josh Cast podcast, that's where I record all my, drunk segments, 90% of them. So, I remember one night I actually had some money, and I went to this open bar. And the open bar was cheap. I forgot what it was. It was like, hey, if you pay $10, you can get some drinks. I said, fuck it. I had $10 in me. I said, I got some money. I paid for the open bar, and I think I only had 2 drinks. I think I had a vodka and pineapple, something like that. I never ordered anything at that point besides a beer. Okay? I never had anything at that point besides a fucking beer. And I didn't get, wasted, but I got, it was like, drunk, I felt good enough. You know what I mean? I felt like, once again, I like to feel nice. So at that fucking point, right, I was talking to girls. Now, there's a term in PUA. It's called God mode. That's what RSD uses. I mean, actually, Simple Pickup uses God mode, I think. Or, I forgot what RSD uses. Oh, yeah, RSD calls it in state. Simple Pickup calls it God mode. But that's pretty much when you're on fire. And because I was drinking that, I got a little lit. I approached more people that night, groups of people. And I was using this really dumb routine I found from Simple Pickup. I said, hey, I do magic. I'm actually a magician, okay? So later tonight, there's going to be a baby in your stomach. I'm going to make a baby appear in your stomach. I got that from Jesse from Simple Pickup. So I started doing that, right? And I was approaching so many groups of people, and everyone was kind of weirded out by me because I was so on. They thought, well, this guy must be on coke. He must be real drunk. I was just fucking on. And I remember I got into an argument with this white girl at Plow. Pretty much what happened was I said it to her. I opened her up, and I was like, I'm a magician. And later tonight, like around 1 o'clock tonight, I was like, you're gonna feel a baby kicking your stomach. I'm gonna get you pregnant or something. And she was actually kind of flirting with me a little bit, but she was like, look, she's like, I gotta be honest with you. She's like, I'm really high maintenance. She's like, if you want to get with me, she's like, you got to take me to a concert on the first date, and then the second date, she's like, you got to take me to, like a real expensive dinner. I said, what? I said, what makes you think you're that good? I said, no offense, you're cute and all, but you're saying it like you're a celebrity or something. She's like, look, I'm just saying that's how I am. And we got into this argument and stuff. She was like, what? Don't disagree with me. She's like this really entitled white chick. She was like, don't disagree with me, right? And I was like, look, I'm not disagreeing. I was like, I can disagree with you if I want, but you're being ridiculous and stuff. We got this real argument. I left, and I tried to make out with her, and she said no. She like shooed me away. So that was a really weird conversation. And I gotta say, I had this idea years ago to make a vlog for guys who do PUA, but see, I don't do PUA anymore. But I still go out though. And the vlog is pretty much drinking at night versus not drinking at night. What are the differences? What are the advantages? What are the pros and cons? Right? I started thinking of that. What are the advantages of drinking at night? What are the pros and cons? I repeated myself twice there. For those who want to know what's going on, it's Saturday night right now. Obviously, I'm out. And I had a Stone IPA, which is a West Coast beer. No, I'm not on the West Coast. I fucking wish I was. And I got it from this beer distributor in Old City called the Ben Franklin thing. I've been doing that 4 weeks in a row. And it's 6.9% IPA. A big can, like a 24-ounce can. Folks, I am drunk. This is the most drunk I've been in a while. So hey, I'm drinking at night. Hence the name of the podcast. So other than that night while I was really on, I posted a blog about it on this pickup website, and people weren't that interested. They're like, hey, yeah, drinking makes it easy. So after that, like I said, I wasn't really drinking that much. I would have a beer once in a while. You know what I mean? I would have like a drink here and there. But I never thought ever about getting drunk. And I rarely ever decided, hey, I'm going to get lit. I'm going to get drunk. I'm going to, you know what I mean? I'm going to get hammered or anything. Because I knew I didn't need it. Most guys, like I said, need it. And it's amazing because I would go out by myself sober and I would fucking kill it. I would approach like 10, 12, maybe 20 girls a night. And most of these other clowns would go out with their friends, like 5 or 6 guys, right? 5 or 6 guys, all hammered, all drunk, and not one could talk to a girl. But I was able to kill the game. Oh, that proves right there that confidence doesn't matter. Because if confidence mattered, I would have got some pussy. Girls would have said, I gotta fuck this guy. He's so fucking confident. He's out by himself, and he ran right up to me and just approached me like this. Oh my God, I gotta fuck this guy. But of course, we all know that's bullshit. So I would have a beer here and there when I went out, and I never felt like I needed it. And then I told you guys what happened. I started making my concoctions when I moved back into my parents' house when I was 28 years old, and I started getting depressed. That is when I decided to start making my own drinks and getting really fucking drunk. And I thought it would not only like make me like more successful in that field. I just also felt at that time that it would, you know what I mean? It would forget about my troubles. Like, it would make things better. So I was like, fuck. So I started, like I said, mixing like Ciroc, Grey Goose, shit like that, Red Bull. I didn't give a fuck. I would get real drunk. And I would talk to girls and stuff and everything, but it didn't get me anywhere. It didn't really help me. So here are the pros and cons. since I never made the video, let's do it here. Let's do an audio. Let's not do a video about that. Pros and cons. Now, here's one of the... Let's do sober first. Going out sober. Now, some guys cannot go out sober. Like, I gotta have a drink. The truth is, you don't need a drink. Now, a drink may feel like it's going to relax you. A drink may feel like it's going to... All it's going to do is lower your judgment. So, if you decide one night, I'm going to go out and actually be fucking sober. If you need to drink something, go to the bar, get yourself a club soda or a fucking Diet Coke or a Coke or something. Or get yourself a Coke and a water. And that way you feel like you got yourself a drink. And the old 60 years of challenge trick is to stand at the bar and just start talking to people. Say, hey, how's your night going? Say cheers. Even though people look at you like you're crazy, so what? Just say cheers. Like Sandman says. And cheers. Just talk to people. Just say, hey, how's your night going? Stuff. You don't need it. Okay, so one of the pros about going sober is you have more control over yourself. Alcohol can put you in a, like I said, like if a guy bumps into me when I'm drunk, right? If I'm sober, I'll get upset about it, but I won't say anything. But if I'm drunk, I'm like, hey, what the fuck, man? Like just like that last episode. Well, actually, no. 2 episodes ago when I put Bad Moments at Night, I almost got into a fight with a guy, like I said, because he bumped into me. And I said, hey, what the fuck, dude? You just bumped into me, right? That happened because I was drunk. And I liked the way the guy was touching me. So I said something, because when you drink, you don't give a fuck. Drinking does that to you. So when you're sober, you have more control over yourself. Here's another benefit to drinking. If you decide that to being sober, here's another benefit. If you can go out and talk to girls and talk to people, right, without drinking, you're going to feel amazing. You're going to be like, oh my God, I'm out right now. I don't need a drop of fucking alcohol. And I am talking to so many girls right now. I'm talking to people. This is amazing. You're going to feel better. And not because it's some stupid book. Not because it's some PUA method or some whatever. You're just going to feel just spiritually just amazing. You're going to feel like I have an advantage right now. And plus you have your control. So if someone bumps in, you're like, whatever, it's no big deal. If a girl rejects you, you might get upset about it, but you might be like, you know what, fuck it. So those are the 2 biggest advantages to being sober. And also another advantage is you save money. Because you all know, if you decide to go out and get hammered and drink 6 beers, like one asshole I know, that's a lot of money. That's like $30, $50 a night you're spending. You can save yourself a good $40 if you decide to just get a Coke and a water and a club soda versus getting, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I need 6 beers. I need 6 shots. I need. Or you might want to drink when you go out, like me, and you might want to decide to make your own drinks, like me. But then if you do make your own drinks, once again, you're still getting drunk when you're going out, and that's not going to help you in that situation. So that's why I said there's pros and cons to the whole thing. But I would rather you just go sober. So you save money, you feel better, you have more judgment over yourself. Also, no hangover. And just basically, here's the thing. Girls are going to shame you. Here's the thing. Girls will say to you, why aren't you drinking? Like when I used to go sober, girls would say, because they want you to buy them a drink. So they go, why aren't you drinking, right? And I'm like, well, I'm not drinking because I don't want to. And they go, that's weird. That's really weird. And it's like, no, it's not fucking weird, actually. Even though you're in a bar, because remember, you're here on a Friday, Saturday night. So I used to tell them, I don't need a drink to have fun. I can dance, I can talk to people, I don't need it. And some would say, oh, that's really cool. But some of them, the reason why they would judge me for it is because they were cunts, and they wanted me to buy them a drink. And I said I made a mistake. I talked about this before. I bought 2 girls a drink in my entire life that I didn't know in a bar, and both of them didn't fuck me. I already made out with one. I didn't even need to buy her a drink. So those are the 4 benefits, pros and cons. Now, is there anything negative about not drinking when you go out? I would say not really. The only negative I would say is if you're a guy who needs your judgment lowered, which is a lot of guys. If you're a guy, if you're not like me, let's say I'm special because I'm not, and you're like, you know what I'm saying? If you're a guy, you're like, I need something. I need a drink. I need a substance to really kind of knock me out and dilute me so I can, talk to people, then I would say, then yeah, being sober is going to be a disadvantage for you because you have that mindset. But if you could fix it though, if you can get out of that mindset, and actually just realize you don't fucking need alcohol to talk to people and live your life and drink. Like I said, I like drinking. I'm drinking tonight. I don't need it. If I wanted to, I could have just went to a cover spot tonight, and I could have just fucking did that and avoided drinking tonight. And I decided to come down here and get myself a beer because I was like, my logic tonight was, why the fuck am I going to sit there and spend $5 on a cover when I'm not going to talk to anybody, because nowadays I don't talk to people, when I can actually get me a fucking beer, which I did. And I only need one drink, and of course I'm fucking lit. Now let's get to drinking now. What are the pros to drinking? Once again, number one, I will say, you got to know your limits. Now, here's the thing. I think it's because, even though I'm a big guy now, like now I'm fat, I really think the reason why is because I drink now. I didn't drink back then mainly because I was broke and I didn't need it. One of the advantages to drinking is if you can drink like me and feel like you feel good and nice, drinking can make you feel good about yourself. As far as it lowers your judgment. So if you're actually feeling good, if you're not too hammered, you don't feel sick, and you don't do what some other idiots do, and you don't drink and get all fucked up and get sick, you can actually have a good time. You can dance and go, I don't give a fuck if anybody in the room is looking at me. Say they were talking to girls. I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. But once again, some guys get too drunk, and they don't realize when they talk to girls, they're not. Some guys can still drink a lot and be kind of smooth. And then some guys, when they drink, they're like, hey, what's up, girl? How you doing? And they're all fucking sloppy. And they look like a homeless guy. So drinking can lower your judgment. It can put you in a good mood. It can make you feel invisible. And it can also just, it makes you blend in kind of, especially if everybody's drinking. You just look like a guy who's drinking. Like, hey, I'm drinking. This guy's cool. He drinks. Now, of course, what are the cons? We all know. Drinking lowers your judgment too much. Why do you think people get arrested? Why do you think people get into fights? Why do you think people just feel like they can do whatever the fuck they can do? Think about it. If you're sober, right, and you're walking down the street and you see a car coming, you're going to stop 9 times out of 10. You're going to be like, oh, fuck, let this car go by, especially if it's going fast. If you're drinking, you're going to say, fuck this. You know what I mean? I'm just going to walk. This car, what is it going to do? It's going to hit me? It's going to run me over. You're like, fuck that. And you're just going to walk right across the street. Also, if you're really drunk, listen, and a guy pushes you, you might say something. You might push him back. If you're sober, once again, you're like, hey, that's no big deal. If you're drinking, you're like, I'm going to push this guy back. Hey, fucking don't push me, dude. And then once again, I've seen motherfuckers get knocked out cold because they're drinking. They're out with their girlfriends. They're not a tough guy. And then some guy bumps into them. They push him. They did it to the wrong motherfucker. And then the guy knocks him the fuck out. And now the girl's like, wake up, baby. That happens more than you think, folks. I've seen it happen many times. So drinking lowers your judgment too low. Also, you may not have control. You don't realize. You may think, I have control, but you don't have control. So as I say, you might risk it into a fight, getting kicked out of a bar. Getting kicked out of a bar sometimes can be fun, I gotta tell you. I've been kicked out of a bar only twice. And there's something kind of fun about it. I feel like it means you're kind of doing something right, because it means that you were doing something at least, So, also, of course, you got the hangover. Now, once again, I've never had like a headache. When I get hangovers, I don't have a headache, but I get the type of hangovers where I feel like crap in the morning. Like if I have to get up early, usually I have to get up early. I like to go to the park with my brother. I like to go to the park really early. I like to do something productive in the morning on the weekends, especially if I'm working. And if you drink really heavily, you're obviously going to wake up in the morning and feel like shit. You're not going to feel like doing anything. If you have something to do next morning, you can still do it, but you're going to feel like crap. And it's also going to make you sleepy the whole day next day. So if you have nothing to do, like I have nothing to do on Sundays, it's like fine. I get up early, and then I just do what I have to do. And then I got the whole fucking day to just, you know what I mean? Just sleep. But if you have something to do, it could ruin your day. So there's pros and cons to drinking. I'm not going to tell you not to drink. And I'm also going to tell you to drink. What I'm going to tell you to do is know your limits. Know, you know, if you're the type of person that likes to get hammered. Like, I've had people tell me before. I told people before, I've never blacked out before. And you know what people tell me? They go, dude, you got to do it, man. You got to try it. You got to get blacked out. I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, it's fun. I'm like, why the fuck would I want to black out? And I tell this story all the time. This guy blacked out once. I didn't even know who he was. He sat down next to me. He had his phone in his hand. He dropped his phone. His Uber couldn't find him. The guy drunk a bunch of shit. Why would I want to be that guy? I'm going to sit there and drop my phone. Someone's going to steal my phone. And then I'm going to wake up the next day. And someone's going to steal my wallet. And probably have a fucking, you know, a dildo up my ass or something. Or someone's going to draw dicks on my face. Fuck that shit. Know your limits. Know how much does it take you to get drunk. For me, sometimes I can have a fucking beer and I'm drunk. Am I hammered? No. Am I, you know, to me, there's supposed to be drunk and wasted. I like to get drunk, not wasted. So I've never been wasted. I'm not going to get wasted. And as I said, when it comes to talking to girls, I made out with girls more when I was sober than I was drunk. Now, once again, some guys are different. Some guys might tell you the opposite. Like, I made out with more girls when I was drunk. Once again, it all depends. But when it comes to girls, don't let them pressure you. Don't let them bully you. Like, what? You're not. Because once again, when they say, hey, why aren't you drinking? Remember, they're saying it because they want you to buy them a drink. Because they're manipulative cunts. And I wish I never bought those two girls a drink that I never bought them. I never brought. So, yeah. So, once again, those are the pros and cons to drinking when going out at night. I told myself I didn't drink the whole summer because I was, well, actually, not the whole summer. I lied. I would say about 45% of the summer I didn't drink, if not half of it, because I didn't have any money. And now that I've been working this job for the last 4 weeks, I've been buying myself a tall boy on Saturday nights. Because I don't go out on Friday nights. And I don't need it. So next week, I'm going to try to go sober. Because I know I can do it. I don't need drinking to fucking go out. And I don't need drinking to have fun. And I don't need drinking to do comedy. And I don't need it. So drinking is just fun. And my best advice I like to tell people is don't abuse alcohol. And the reason why is because I know like 3 comics that are in AA right now. And that sucks. The reason why that sucks is because they're not going to drink anymore. So if you start to abuse alcohol and you start to drink like fucking crazy, the problem is you stop drinking. You have to go to AA. You don't drink anymore. And me, if I drink so I just feel nice, let's say I only drink once or twice a week, that's good right there. You know what I'm saying? That's good right there. And I can still drink as long as I want to because I know I don't have a problem. And I went like about a month and a half in the summer without drinking. And then I think when my birthday came, I decided to get a drink, which I didn't have to. So you don't need it. It's not going to do anything for you. It's not going to, once again, it's not going to get you girls. It's not going to make you cool. It's just going to lower your judgment and maybe make you feel good for like a little bit. But then even when I drink sometimes, I feel like shit at night. Like I look at people hanging out with their friends once again, like the last episode, and I'm like, why not me? Why don't I don't have, and sometimes it's because of the alcohol. So I'm going to wrap this episode up now. I got to take a piss. This is episode 10. I recorded 2 this week, which means that, you know, I don't have to worry for a while about recording another one, plus the amount of ideas. I just randomly thought of this. This is an amazing thing. I have so much insight about certain things. I just randomly thought of this episode, and I just pulled it right out of my ass again. So thanks for listening, and I'll see you guys on the next one of Jak'd.